Good morning, everybody. So today I'm going to give a quick explanation because I know Mrs. B Finesse, shout out to you, asked me how or at least what software I use to edit my videos, to do the little mini clips that I have. To answer, and I know I did reply on your comment, Mrs. B, but basically I use a mixture of, depending on what I want to do exactly, of OBS, PowerPoint, Canva, and YouTube Studio. So basically, if I want to clip out a particular long stream, let's say, my 12-hour long stream. I know it's more than 12 hours, folks, but unfortunately, YouTube cut out the last hour and a half. Damn you, YouTube. So it's lost to the annals of time. Either way, anyways, 12 hours. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to complain too much. So, anyways, if I wanted to clip out a particular segment of it, right, I would use first and foremost OBS. Okay, OBS is a bit complicated, and although this is not the goal of my video right here, right now, I can show you at least how I use OBS, and I'm by far no way, shape, or form an expert of OBS. Okay, but I do try to use it. Okay, so for example, if I want to clip my video, okay, my 12-hour video, I would first go ahead and download it. Okay, download, and a second screen would normally come up and would download my video. Okay, so that's what would happen. Okay, once it's downloaded, I would go into OBS and find that particular part of it that I would want, and basically just record either the entire part, or if I wanted to, break it down further, I would break it down and just record 30 seconds at a time. Okay, you can do both. You know, you can, record just the 12 minutes. Let's say there's a specific 12 minutes, I would record the 12 minutes. If I wanted to break it down into 30-second parts, I could then just break down, like, stop everything, record for 30 seconds, stop, record for 30 seconds, stop. You know what I mean? Do a stop and go, either way, or do both. Okay, so but another tool I use is YouTube Editor, which is what you're looking at here, is the YouTube Editor. Okay, and again, that really depends on what you want to do exactly. So let's say I'm gonna pick my video here, my 12-hour live stream. I would click here on details. Okay, and I would have here different things on the left hand side that I could do. Okay, now one thing that a lot of people don't realize, okay, this is again still in the details. Okay, there's a lot of things here that you would want to play around here. So either yes, you want it for kids, or no, you don't. Okay, automatically it will give you a save if you made changes. But you could go here, show more. Okay, so yes, the stream, has paid promotions. In my case, no, it doesn't, so I would not touch that. Allow for automatic chapters. That's another way, Mrs. B Finesse, that you can edit it. Okay, so once you click here, okay, when you go into your descriptions, you would, in descendant order, add timestamps, and you would start with 00:00, and then dash whatever time you want it to stop, and same thing, and then you press enter, go to the next part that you want to go into, and start. I would recommend, because I know the lead attorney does that with his videos. Go to his videos, see his description, and you'll understand what I mean. Okay, so you're really, adding chapters. So that's one way you can do a basic kind of clip in a way, to a certain degree. Now, if you want, but it also, by doing that, if you go to OBS to clip a particular part of it, you could then use your timestamps as a reference point of when you want to start and stop the clip that you're trying to record. Okay, so you might want to start with allow automatic chapters, and then add in the timestamps to your description. Okay. And obviously you're gonna add tags, language. Here I was just fooling around with Cree. I think it's a beautiful language. Okay, and all the other things. Allow adding. Now here as well, this is what allows me to clip a lot of other people's videos, because this is automatically selected in a lot of people's videos. So if you don't want me to clip you, this is a good way to undo this. But come on, folks, y'all know you love me clipping you guys. Come on now. And obviously all this other stuff. Okay, so since I clicked the no, not for children, I do want to save it. Okay, now the reason why I do pick no, not for children, because there are other elements, like subtitles and screen cards, that you might not be able to have in some of your videos if you click yes, available for children. Okay, so that's something that you want to keep in mind. But again, I'm not here to tell you you have to have subtitles, you have to have an end screen or cards in your videos. Okay, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I do. So there we go. So you save it. Okay, change is saved. Okay, great. All right. So the important part, okay, is this button here, editor. Okay, so you're gonna click on the editor. Okay, this is where you can do also some other stuff with your videos and the clips and so forth. Okay, because here's editor, if you want to use a very, now the thing is, okay, obviously, and this is very important, if you're going to use the trim of your video, now here it says it's the video can't be trimmed because it's too long. Okay, but if you want to trim your video, what happens is that whatever trim you do to your video on YouTube applies to that video. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure you have a downloaded copy of the video that you are going to trim in its original form, so that way if you trim it in a wrong way, you still have the original that you could upload and try again. Okay, because it is permanent. Okay, so that's one way to get the little clips, is by trimming the video. Okay, but again, in this case it's telling me my video is too long, so I wouldn't be able to do it even if I wanted to. Okay, but that's another way to get little clips. Okay, but again, I'm going to repeat it, make sure you have the original video somewhere on your computer, or ideally, if you haven't invested in one, definitely go out there and buy one, Mrs. B Finesse. And this is my suggestion to everybody: get yourself an external hard drive and save all of your videos. I always, sorry to sound, apocalyptic, but what if tomorrow YouTube decides we're shutting down, we're closing up shop, all your videos go bye-bye? Okay, so you definitely want to download all of your videos, and you want to make sure you have them on a USB stick and an external hard drive and on your computer and on another platform, so that way if one goes down, you still have the others to depend on. Okay, you want to have 3 or 4 copies of all of your original videos in their original forms at the very least. And ideally if you've done some kind of editing to them, that you're going to do that. Okay, so you can obviously, one of my favorite tools is the add music. So a lot of times when you hear my music in the background, that's what I'm using, is this feature. This is the blur feature, so you're adding blur to people. No, too long, and obviously if it's grayed out, it's because it's too long. Okay, and you can add end screens. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this, since I wasn't able to add a proper ending. So I'm going to add a video. Okay, and there you go, most recent. Okay, so, and I'm just going to go here and save. Okay, so that's pretty much one way to trim or clip a video, is going to use the trim feature of your YouTube Studio. Okay, Now, again, I use mostly OBS. Okay, for OBS, what you would have to do, if it's your own content, okay, download your video, and then you would have to upload it to uh, OBS Studio. So definitely, I would recommend that you download OBS Studio. There's also OBS Live as well. That also would allow you to go live instead of using StreamYard. For both of these, I think Before the Billions has better knowledge about it than I do. But like I said, if you really want me to show you how to use OBS Studio to do at least the basic clipping, like I said, I'm not an expert on OBS, but if you want to do the basic stuff, a couple little things here and there, I can definitely help you with that. Um, and a lot of times, if I want to combine my video, so I want to, let's say I've trimmed one of your videos. So as you saw, I trimmed Before the Billions stories yesterday from your live video. um, I can definitely show you how to use Canva or PowerPoint, because a lot of people are surprised that I use PowerPoint sometimes. But yes, I use PowerPoint sometimes to combine my intro, your clip that I did, and my outro to that. Combine the three together. But you can use Canva for that as well. And I believe OBS does it as well. But I find OBS is a little bit more clunky. There's a lot of things, while as for people like you and me, Canva is a lot more simpler, is a lot more visual as well. um, and you can add it's a lot easier a lot of the elements that OBS does. It's not as self-evident in OBS, and you do need to learn how to use OBS a lot more than you do with Canva. Canva tends to be much more natural, much more instinctful, much more user friendly. But I'm not saying this to discourage you from OBS. There's lots of features with OBS that are there that you would have to pay for with Canva, or that are just non-existent with Canva. But again, go with Before the Billions to get more of an expertise. So that's basically what I would do for my videos. Okay, so I hope that helps you a little bit. That gives you a good starting point. But definitely look into downloading OBS Studio and OBS Live in order to start. But hit me up if ever, give me a shout out saying, hey, she stole my thunder. I want to start. I have this particular video I want to clip. I've downloaded, OBS Studio. How do I, what are those steps to, to clip X sorry, my brain does not want to work this morning. I'm having a freedom fries moment, or French moment as I like to call it. But if you definitely want to help, shout me out and say, hey, you know what, how do I clip? I have this particular 12 minutes I want to clip. I want to add my intro, outro to it, whatever. Shout me out, hit me up. I'll definitely help you with that. Alright, so that's it for today. That was my little quick video, and now I will be adding my intro outro to this and replying to you, Mrs. B Fitness.